Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Listen to what Fisher said, the former Fed governor.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish the wealth effect.
That's right. Did you hear that? They took the stock market, front-loaded it, ran it 200%, so we ended up not only with a fake stock market, but fake GDP, fake money, fake jobs, fake prices, fake everything. But we took advantage of that, and we're going to take advantage again. That's why I told my gang in May to short the market. On 5/29, that's May 29th, I'm telling you to short the stock market. And we were right. And the market went down over 11%. That's why you got to join my gang and learn how to short stocks just as much as buying them. Learn how to short with me, Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. There is only one talk show host, Phil Grande, who delivers both social and financial talk. Not even Hannity or Rush can deliver a 1-2 punch like that. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Phil Grande is unique, the industry leader, the first talk show host ever to combine social issues and finance into winning stock market ideas. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I'm going to tell you something about your 401k that you don't know. You know the 401k is a tax code? That's what it is. Here's how it worked. In the 80s, you had pension funds, but they decided to give their CEOs a benefit on top of the pension. It was called 401k. That was to shelter their income. That way they could keep the CEOs because it was very competitive. But when all the jobs were shipped overseas, they no longer could keep pension funds. Too expensive. So they shifted all their employees to a 401k, duping you, thinking it was a good deal. But what they did is they charged hidden fees, which amount to about $250 billion a day, that they gave to lobbyists to go to Washington to make sure that this 401k would never be transparent. Here's what came of it.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
That's right. So join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Listen to this contradiction.
February, existing home sales down 7.1%.
American consumers, they have more cash on hand.
What a contradiction. Matter of fact, all the information you get from all the different financial programs, it's all contradiction, but here at Phil's Gang, I will tell you the truth. Join my gang, philsgang.com. You will enjoy it.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. It's 877-600-4264.
We're on our best 2-year job creation streak in 20 years.
What are you, nuts? Who'd believe that? Let me tell you the truth. First of all, the 292,000 jobs we got in December 2015, and they told us the unemployment rate is 5%. Not true. You can't trust these people on Wall Street. You can't trust the press. What they don't count is, in December, for example, the 615,000 discouraged workers. A discouraged worker is a person unemployed, gave up looking for work, but this administration does not count them as unemployed when calculating a 5% unemployment rate. Instead, they classify discouraged as marginally attached to the labor force, but they're not considered part of the labor force or part of the unemployment. That's why you can't trust what they tell you. If we back into 625,000, the real unemployment rate is 12%, not 5%. That's why you got to join my gang, where you get the truth and where we use charts. Join the gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Time is the one thing that we want more of. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey. They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. The 401k big lie. They tell you invest $10,000 a year for 30 years, compounded at 6% annually. You will have a grand total of $245,000 to retire. That is not true. That is not the truth. What they don't tell you is the hidden fees. There's 27 hidden fees in your 401k. When you're all done, you lose half of what you put aside for your retirement. That's right, half. And another thing, you're not allowed to do individual stocks in a mutual fund. And you're not allowed to make money when stocks go down. That's ridiculous. Would you buy a car with just forward and no reverse? Why would you ever be in a fund that you can't make money when the stock market goes down? Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, there's nothing worse than you're investing in a stock and during the day something happens and you don't know what to do. You don't know who to call. Or you call somebody and they just give you a bunch of BS. Not here at Phil's Gang. We value every gang member. During the day, you got a question about your stock, you contact us. We have the best service in the world. philsgang.com. You're not alone. You're a gang member.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
The U.S. economy is proven remarkably resilient. Manufacturing and net exports have continued to be hard hit.
What is it? Are we resilient or not? Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network. What a day. Market's up over 97 points. Why? Because the economy's getting worse. Because it's getting worse. Now, you would think, oh, well, if the economy's getting worse, the market would go down. No, that's not how it works. So you got to understand it. That's the beautiful thing about using charting. You got to understand, when the market gets worse, that's what you want. You want a terrible market. You want a terrible economy. You want everybody out of work. That's what you want. Then the market will go up 10,000 points. That's how the market works. See, look, Yellen is like a ambulance service. Every time something happens with the market where it starts going down, she comes in and makes sure she pushes the market right back up. She calls it accommodative, being accommodative, which I talked about before, which means print as much money as you can. So today she came out. This is unbelievable. This is the same person all through 2015 who told us the economy is doing so well every day. Economy is doing so great. We got to raise rates. Economy's doing so good. And for a year, she didn't raise rates. And finally, she raises rates in December of 2015. And January comes, and we have the worst stock market, worst January in history. This woman doesn't know what she's doing. She's absolutely nuts. She's nuts, this woman. She's crazy. Now, listen to this.
The committee continues to expect moderate economic growth over the medium term, accompanied by further labor market improvement.
Oh, really?
The labor market has added an average of almost 230,000 jobs a month.
Wait a minute. The jobs are terrible. Are you kidding me? We have the lowest participation rate since 1955, the lowest home ownership rate since 1967, the lowest wages in 20 years. And that has caused retail sales, household spending, disposable income, durable goods all to decline. The wheels are coming off due to all the lack of good full-time jobs. It's causing wages to stagnate. We have no overtime. All the jobs are part-time. She doesn't tell you that. Top-line sales, revenues are plunging. We just got the numbers. For quarter after quarter, top-line sales. People aren't doing any business. They're not selling anything. But the market is ready to go up. Look, it went up today. It's up 95 points. She talks about manufacturing. She double talks. First she says, okay, everything's okay. Then she says,
manufacturing and net exports have continued to be hard hit.
So how can you have jobs if manufacturing is hard hit? She tells us, oh, we think we're going to get better jobs here. The economy's going to be better. Well, you don't get better jobs when manufacturing is on its back. You get, that's where the good jobs are. For heaven's sakes. Manufacturing, industrial production has fallen off a cliff. What's that cause? The growth rate of consumer spending to plummet to a multi-year low. That's caused our retail sales to get to get killed. A 9-year low in retail sales. All why? Because the result of increase in part-time jobs from 4.5 million to over 8 million part-time jobs. We have a historic 28 million part-time low-paying jobs that suck. And she's trying to say, what?
The labor market has added an average of almost 230,000 jobs.
Yeah, and 78% of those jobs, 80% of those jobs are part-time garbage jobs. What's wrong with this woman? What's wrong with her? So we have more than 75% of these 28 million people who were middle class, went from full-time to part-time, and 70% of them have slipped into poverty. See, what they don't want to talk about is these part-time jobs. Why? Because everybody knows when you go from full-time to part-time, the next place you go is into poverty. This is crazy. A 50% increase under Obama. So the people who had a good full-time job and lost it went to part-time. 50% of those people then slipped into poverty. What happens? Retail sales, housing spending, disposable income, durable goods, all in a decline because we have all these part-time jobs. Manufacturing, industrial production, terrible. And during this entire 200% stock market rally, accommodated, remember, that's where Fisher, what?
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order...
Yeah, they front-loaded an enormous rally starting in March of 2009, 200%. Then they front-loaded another rally February 11th. And the market went up 14% after it fell in January 14%. So it dropped in January 14%, but when it went up in February and March 14%, the numbers that we're receiving, the economic numbers we received, were worse than when the market dropped in January. Now, here's the key. Listen to what she says here. Listen to this. This is unbelievable. She's talking about quantitative easing.
Even if the federal funds rate were to return to near zero, the FOMC would still have considerable scope to provide additional accommodation.
They always call it accommodation. Why don't they call it what it is? Money printing, for God's sakes. Call it what it is. Money printing. But she doesn't want to do that. So she's saying, well, we are going to, and I told you this was going to happen, we're going to take back that 0.25% that we raised in December. That 0.25%, they're going to claw that back. And then she's going to announce quantitative easing. And you want to be with us, the gang, because I'll tell you what, gold will go through the roof. It already started to go back up today. The metals already started to go up today. Look at our percentages on metals. We got into metals some time ago because I said this is going to happen. And metals are just taking off. GDX. We're up. Our gold's up. Our gold's up over 100%. 100%. Our mining stocks. AU over 100%. Our gold mining stocks all up 800%, 35%, 45% when nobody wanted them. Because as the economy gets worse, the dollar drops. Look what happened to the dollar. The dollar dropped today. We were in position because when the dollar drops, you're in position with your metals. You know the dollar's going to drop. That's why in December, I said, let's start buying mining stocks when nobody wants them because we know the economy's going to get worse. The dollar is going to drop. The 10-year yield is going to drop. Everybody will run to gold. And that's exactly what's happened. Now people are starting to talk about getting in metals. We've already been in since December. Because anytime that we have this lousy economy, like she reported today, and she tried to, cover it up, the dollar drops. So this is the time, if you didn't join before, let me tell you, if you missed this QE, she's talking QE here. This is what she's talking. She's talking about taking the 25 basis point back, claw that back, and then she wants to do QE again. Exactly what Draghi did. So, because the only thing they know is printing of money. Keep throwing money at the stock market. Keep running the stock market up. That's all they care about. They run the whole deal on just take the stock market, keep running it up. Please, join my gang. What an opportune time.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Aren't you tired of all the nonsense you hear from these financial shows like this?
Should I be worried about Bear Stearns in terms of liquidity and get my money out of there? No, no, no. Bear Stearns is fine.
And then they went bankrupt. This is what I'm talking about. This is crazy. Your 401k, they take half of all the money you put away. Look, it's not about the money you're saving. It's about where you invest it and not in a 401k. Join my gang. Start using charts. I'll teach you how to use a chart so that you can maximize your returns on the money you do have. And the earlier you get started, the better. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Everybody was asking me, how did I know to short forward when it was November? And it was when Aunt B was telling us everything was fine. Well, what people didn't know is Aunt B was lying to us. Because when she was raising the rates, machinery sales were down 5.6%, computers were down 8.7%, communication equipment sales down 21%. I took a look at our chart and I saw that institutions were pulling money out of Ford. So we said, let's short Ford. And we did that in November, on November 10th, because my charts told me there was a big sell signal, and we took advantage of it. And you know that stock Ford has now dropped 17%. That's the return my gang has now, 17%. Don't follow any of the jibber-jabber from CNBC or the Fed. Follow me, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. We're a teaching format. And boy, do we give good service. Buying a stock doesn't have to be complicated. The reason why Wall Street makes it complicated is so to make you think you need to hire them. You can do better without them, believe me, because you're not going to have those big fees. Come to Phil's Gang, where we'll show you an easy way to buy a stock. philsgang.com, where we don't make it complicated but profitable.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
Time is the one thing that we want more of as a single parent. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey.
El que Sayú no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When they told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow, they pretty much have saved us.
They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, people make it too complicated. Wall Street tells you the market cap and the trailing PE and the forward PE and price to sales to confuse you. All you need to know is, does the stock have volume? What's that mean? Energy. What does that mean? If you have people buying a stock, enough of the stock's being bought, it influences the prices to go up. Join my gang, philsgang.com. We're using charting, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. You know, every day we hear from Wall Street. You turn on the TV, and they're telling us how the economy's great, everything's great. And these are the same people that run the 401ks who, with a 2% fee, take more than half of your money and put it in their pocket. You will never retire comfortably in a 401k. But try to convince 90 million people, it's almost impossible. People just don't listen. They get comfortable and stay with these 401ks. They don't work. You're not going to be able to retire. It's simple. Go to my site, philsgang.com. Join the gang, try it for a month, and we're going to show you how to use a chart. And that is going to put you in such a comfort zone of retirement.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Anybody who puts money in my pocket is my friend. And Phil Grande can do the same for you. Learn how to grow and invest your money. Here's Phil Grande.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Let's take a look at the stock market, up 102%. 102 points, 102 points. Now, people are going to ask, well, how can that be? The economy's getting worse. That's why she didn't raise rates. And you talk about worse. The first quarter earnings declined by minus 8.3%. That's the fourth consecutive quarter of year-over-year declines since 2008. Revenues, same thing, declined minus 0.8%, making the fifth consecutive quarter of year-over-year declines in revenue since 2008. Manufacturing declined, durable goods is declining. Homes plunged by 7.1%, existing home sales. Aircraft plunging by 27%. The financial sector, the worst, plunged by minus 8.4%. So she didn't raise rates in March. And now, today, she came out and she's telling us she may be doing quantitative easing again. And that's why I want you to join the gang. God, if you miss it this time, because remember what quantitative easing is. It's real simple. All they do is just print massive money. They go and buy 10-year treasuries. Who's that? The Federal Reserve. And then when they buy those 10-year treasuries, that drops the yield, the interest rate on the 10-year treasury. That means everybody gets out of bonds and they buy stocks, pushing the stock market up. Then they print more money. They give it to the hedge funds, so they speculate in the stock market. They print more money. They give it to companies to buy back their own stock. This is incredible. Now, they'll tell you it's done because they want to improve wages and they want to improve jobs and improve the economy. It does just the opposite. It kills the economy. It kills jobs. Because when you keep the interest rates at zero, then what happens is, here's a good example. When you keep interest rates at zero and then you flood money to these companies, corporations, these CEOs to buy back their own shares, our budget deficit grows by $3.6 trillion. And when you have the budget deficit grow by $3.6 trillion, you're in a whole $3.6 trillion. We can't fix our bridges, our roads, our schools, any of our infrastructure. So hundreds of thousands of jobs don't happen. When we're at 0% interest, nobody is investing. There's no investing going on. When you don't give people interest on their money, nobody invests. It's ridiculous. So, you need to be in the right sectors. If you stay with those 401ks, you're going to get killed. I keep telling you that. Keep telling you that. The best thing to do is join my gang and let me get you organized so you're purchasing the 500 best stocks in the world. They're in one basket. They're called the spiders. Then every day we show you how to watch those. We hold your hand all day long. All day. You get the best stocks in the world. And when they start going up, we're right there every day. In the morning, we give you a coffee talk first thing in the morning. Then at 9:30 comes, after coffee talk, the market opens. We put them on our chart so you can see it live. We show you what's going on with your stocks. You can email us in. We put your stock up. We help you with it. We do during the day, all day long, alerts, all day long. We have one special class in the afternoon just on the what we call working investor, which helps you with the spiders. This is the best way to go. So let me give you the number, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG. And remember, it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable what she's saying today. It makes no sense. But I'll tell you what does make sense. I want you to, again, we're going to have a signing of a book. Walter Scheer. I want you to meet Walter. It's going to be in April. We'll tell you the date, where it's going to be. It's an award-winning book, terrific book, and it's so inspiring, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Now, it was the recipient, I should say, of the prestigious Axiom Business Book Award. Now, what's that mean? That's the largest and most respected critical guidepost for business books in today's world of publishing. Because when a book gets that award, the Business Books Award, you know when you're buying the book, you're buying the best. You're buying a cutting-edge business book. And this book also, remember, this book was recommended by the Small Business Forum, saying what a great read it is. There's so many awards this book had. Midwest Book Review came out and said, Walter's Way, priceless, inspiring. I mean, this book's got more awards. So please, go to my site, philsgang.com, where you can order the book, or go to waltersway.org. You can order it directly. And we'll tell you when we're going to have the signing. All right. This is amazing to me. Listen to what she says here. Listen to this. She talks about consumer spending.
Consumer spending appears to be expanding at a moderate pace.
Consumers, she makes it sound like everybody's got good jobs and they're going out and spending. No, that's not what happened. People are spending more money because why? The premiums, health insurance premiums are skyrocketing. That's why. And it's killing people. See, again, listen to what she says.
Consumer spending appears to be expanding.
It's expanding because people have to pay more for insurance. That's the big problem, more for insurance. They also have to pay more for food. Look, right here. Frozen turkeys going up 34%. Believe that? Strawberries up 39%. Are you kidding me? Ham up 10%. Navel oranges up 10.6%. So see what's going on, but she don't tell you that, does she? No, she wants you to believe people have extra money, they're going out spending, and everybody's happy. Obama had a comment. Anyone claiming that America's economy is declining is peddling fiction. And I told you, oh, this guy knows fiction. Here's some more of his fiction. 3 years ago, on the eve of Obama's implementation, the Congressional Budget Office, the CBO, projected the president would have so many new members, 201 million. When I get back, I'll tell you exactly what happened. You talk about fiction? We'll be right back. Join my gang right now, 877-600-GANG.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Grande at philsgang.com. Aren't you tired of all the nonsense you hear from these financial shows like this?
Should I be worried about Bear Stearns in terms of liquidity and get my money out of there? No, no, no. Bear Stearns is fine.
And then they went bankrupt. This is what I'm talking about. This is crazy. Your 401k, they take half of all the money you put away. Look, it's not about the money you're saving. It's about where you invest it and not in a 401k. Join my gang. Start using charts. I'll teach you how to use a chart so that you can maximize your returns on the money you do have. And the earlier you get started, the better. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande, philsgang.com. I'm going to tell you something about your 401k that you don't know. You know the 401k is a tax code? That's what it is. Here's how it worked. In the 80s, you had pension funds, but they decided to give their CEOs a benefit on top of the pension. It was called 401k. That was to shelter their income. That way they could keep the CEOs because it was very competitive. But when all the jobs were shipped overseas, they no longer could keep pension funds. Too expensive. So they shifted all their employees to a 401k, duping you thinking it was a good deal. But what they did is they charged hidden fees, which amount to about $250 billion a day, that they gave to lobbyists to go to Washington to make sure that this 401k would never be transparent. Here's what came of it.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
That's right. So join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
We're on our best 2-year job creation streak in 20 years.
What are you, nuts? Who'd believe that? Let me tell you the truth. First of all, the 292,000 jobs we got in December 2015, and they told us the unemployment rate is 5%. Not true. You can't trust these people on Wall Street. You can't trust the press. What they don't count is, in December, for example, the 615,000 discouraged workers. A discouraged worker is a person unemployed, gave up looking for work, but this administration does not count them as unemployed when calculating the 5% unemployment rate. Instead, they classify the discouraged as marginally attached to the labor force, but they're not considered part of the labor force or part of the unemployment. That's why you can't trust what they tell you. If we back into 625,000, the real unemployment rate is 12%, not 5%. That's why you got to join my gang, where you get the truth and where we use charts. Join the gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. There's so much bad news out there. Let me give you some good news. The good news is you can retire when you're 65 years of age. You can live the same lifestyle you've come accustomed to, but you're going to have to make a change. And what's that change? To get rid of your 401k. It's a scam. It doesn't work. We've never seen more people pulling their money out of 401ks than right now. $40 billion just in this last few quarters because they know it doesn't work. So they're taking their money and stuffing it in the mattress. That's not what to do. Look, it's not about the money you put away. It's about how you invest that money. And clearly 401ks don't work. But it does work here at Phil's Gang. philsgang.com, where we just got a return of over 35% in copper.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. You know, we come in the morning, we have what we call coffee talk. But we just don't sit around and throw the bull, okay, or joke or laugh. Our coffee talk is serious. Every morning before you start out investing, we have an intense discussion on what is going on and where we should be investing. Because it's all about not the money, but where you're putting that money. Join my gang, philsgang.com, and enjoy the best coffee in town.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join the gang. The mark's up 99 points. Why? The dollar is falling. Why? Because the economy is getting worse. Remember, I positioned my gang members in GDX. That's up over 40%. And another gold stock, AU. That's up nearly 80%. And also oil. We did refiners. MRO is up almost 100%. So you have to make sure that you know what you're doing. Okay, when you're investing money, you got to know. Okay, what happens when they make an announcement today that they're not going to raise rates? Well, then you know. Okay, the dollar's going to go down. Let's go to the stocks that are going to help. The dollar's going to help. And for example, so not only did our MRO go up and TSO go up, our refiners, but guess what else went up? Our IBM went up. Our Caterpillar went up. Those are two stocks we have all year long. They're all up. So this is time for you to join the gang because a lot of things are we could go right back to another quantitative easing. So here's the number, 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. You know, we can't believe Yellen. We can't believe the president. I mean, just as you get so down on people, all of a sudden we get reminded there's still great people out there. And I had an experience that was incredible. I put a little money aside that I was going to donate to St. Jude. So I put it in my pocket and I was going to give it to Marta to send to St. Jude. You know, it's a little bit more than $400. I went to the shop. I went shopping down to our local market here, Publix, and I got outside, and the boy, brings out your grocery for you. I want groceries. I wanted to give him a little tip. I got my money was gone. So I went home and I said to Marta, I said, "Gee, when I pulled out because I like doing shopping at I go grocery shopping for, and I like when I pulled out the slip to the list, I must have pulled out the money, must have fell on the ground." She said, "Well, why don't you next time go down and ask, or why don't you go back and see if anybody finds?" Are you kidding me? What are you, nuts? Well, later in the afternoon, she sent me down to get some milk. So I almost didn't go over to the counter. I went to the counter and I said, "I feel really foolish. I'm going to ask you a question here, and I feel so stupid asking it because nobody in the world would ever hand in $400. I lost." She said, "Don't say anything else." I said, "Well, I lost $400 over here," and we got it. Are you kidding me? So I said, I almost didn't come to the manager counter to ask. I wouldn't dream anybody would bring it back. Well, guess what? There's still great people in this world, and we have on the line one of those greatest people, Lois Sposa. Lois, how are you?
Hi, Phil. I'm great. How are you?
Can you hear her?
Okay. Hi, Phil. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Lois, can you hear me?
I can, yes. Can you hear me?
Now we got you. Lois, well,
all right, hi.
Well, how are you? Lois, I was so shocked. As I said, I almost didn't go over to the counter because when I got there, I said to the manager, "I feel stupid asking this question. I can't believe it. Where did you found the money outside just as you walk outside, right? The store?"
Just as you walk outside, I was walking in and I looked down and I saw a $50 bill and I thought, oh, it's one of those fake $50 bills, but I looked closer and said, that's a real $50 bill. So I bent down to pick it up, but there was more money there. So I picked it up and I went directly to customer service and said, "Where's lost and found? Please get your manager," because this was laying out front. So she counted it in front of me. It was actually $410.
That's right, a little bit more in front. I know. I want unbelievable. You're terrific. I mean, you don't find people do that today. I mean, who would think? Most people just take the money and walk off. I mean,
that was a lot of money, and that meant a lot to somebody. And, I've been taught and I believe that, what we send out comes back, and you have to do the right thing. I thought about if that were my money, I would be so upset about it. So I felt so great when I got the call that the money was reunited with you.
Oh, well, I feel great. So here's what we're going to do. I want to take the money. I'm going to send it in to St. Jude because that's what it was for. And I was upset because I was going to give the money to my wife to send it in, and I didn't. I put it in my pocket because it was Easter, and so it was amazing. We're going to take the money and I'm going to put it in your name. We're going to donate it in your name to St. Jude. How's that?
That's fabulous. Thank you so much. What an honor. And I'm just really glad that it worked out that way. I felt so bad when I found the money. And I just felt that, you have to do the right thing. We need to care about each other a little bit more. And I'm just so glad that I got to speak to you. I listen to your radio show a lot, and I'm glad that it's going to go to a good cause. St. Jude is a fabulous place.
Well, again, I can't thank you enough. I'm sure St. Jude's going to thank you too. Thank you so much. You're a terrific person, and we're going to. I'm going to at least send you. I'm going to send you. I'm going to send you a ball cap. How's that? I'll send it to you. Okay.
I love it, Phil, and great talking to you. It really was a pleasure.
Right. Thank you. You're a wonderful person.
Thank you so much.
Okay, there you have it. That's Lois, and Lois Boza. Who would think? Would you ever think that? Huh? No. I honestly, I walked up to I said to Marta, I said, I started to go towards the counter, and I said, I'm going to feel so stupid. The guy would look at me and say, well, you stupid? You think somebody's going to hand in $400? And so I said that to him, and he stopped me. I just got it out of my mouth. He said, no, I found it. I said, wow, thank you. Well, that makes you feel good, doesn't it? So we'll take the $400 and we're going to nominate her for Fed chairman, too. That's what we need. We need people like this. That's what we need in Washington. People like Lois. This is what you need. Honest people. When you listen to people like Yellen, she's the most dishonest person in the world. It's all politics. Here, listen to this. You remember on the eve of Obamacare, the implementation of Obamacare, Obama came out. Remember, he projected. He bragged how about this was his centerpiece legislation. And it would result in an average of 201 million people, he said, would sign up for this goofy Obamacare, right? And he said, we're going to hit that by 2016, he says. Well, really? Well, guess what? He's 24 million people short. But here's what gets me worse than that. So he's bragging how he created 32 million jobs in the healthcare sector. He didn't create, but he's bragging about the 32 million jobs in the healthcare sector. And he brags about how he funded it by it's funded by 1.5 trillion annually. Medicare and Medicaid. That's how they fund this thing, okay, is through, and he brags about the funding by 1.5 trillion annually of Medicare, Medicaid, and other health and social service entitlements. $1.5 trillion, and he brags about how he funds all this. And the annual salary is $35,000. Now, but here's what people don't understand about this. $35,000. That doesn't even support a middle class standard of living, especially after you take the payroll and income taxes. So here he's bragging how he funds 1.5 trillion of Medicare, Medicaid, and other health and social service entitlements. He brags, look, I give you 1.5 trillion. And he brags about the jobs he creates at the health services. They're $35,000 a year. That's not even a middle class standard of living. And here's another thing that gets me. It comes out today, says the United States of America right now has the strongest, most durable economy in the world. We're in the middle of the longest streak of private sector job creation in history. More than 14 million new jobs, the strongest 2 years of job growth since the 90s. An unemployment rate, he said, we cut in half. What a bunch of nonsense. That's all fake. According to his own Bureau of Labor Statistics, for every job Obama creates, 2 people go on food stamps. And food stamps grew 72% faster than jobs that he creates. Are you nuts? We have a total of 95 million people out of work. So here he's bragging about these 35,000 jobs he creates by funding Medicare with 1.5 trillion. Big deal. Unbelievable. These guys just don't tell the truth. Well, it was nice to talk to somebody who was honest, Lois.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. The 401k big lie. They tell you invest $10,000 a year for 30 years, compounded at 6% annually. You will have a grand total of $245,000 to retire. That is not true. That is not the truth. What they don't tell you is the hidden fees. there's 27 hidden fees in your 401k. When you're all done, you lose half of what you put aside for your retirement. That's right, half. And another thing, you're not allowed to do individual stocks in a mutual fund. And you're not allowed to make money when stocks go down. That's ridiculous. Would you buy a car with just forward and no reverse? Why would you ever be in a fund that you can't make money when the stock market goes down? Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, there's nothing worse than you're investing in a stock and during the day something happens and you don't know what to do. You don't know who to call. Or you call somebody and they just give you a bunch of BS. Not here at Phil's Gang. We value every gang member. During the day, you got a question about your stock, you contact us. We have the best service in the world. philsgang.com. You're not alone. You're a gang member.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, it's been 7 years now since Obama ordered his Fed chairman to lower the savings rate from 5% to less than 0.25%. With the false narrative, it would spur economic growth and jobs. Everyone would have an opportunity in this economy. That's what he said. But what it spurred was a front-loading of the biggest fake, unsustainable stock market rally of 200%. That's what it spurred. Now, most people did not participate in that rally because people got out of their 401k in 2009. And they said, just get me out. I want nothing but fixed income. And they got killed because with low interest rates, fixed incomes get murdered. You got to know what you're doing. If you're going to really retire, you got to be associated with the stock market. That's why you come to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, people make it too complicated. Wall Street tells you the market cap and the trailing PE and the forward PE and price to sales to confuse you. All you need to know is, does the stock have volume? What's that mean? Energy. What does that mean? If you have people buying a stock, enough of the stock's being bought, it influences the prices to go up. Join my gang, philsgang.com. We're using charting, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Everybody was asking me, how did I know to short forward when it was November? And it was when Aunt B was telling us everything was fine. Well, what people didn't know is Aunt B was lying to us. Because when she was raising the rates, machinery sales were down 5.6%, computers were down 8.7%, communication equipment sales down 21%. I took a look at our chart and I saw that institutions were pulling money out of Ford. So we said, let's short Ford. And we did that in November, on November 10th, because my charts told me there was a big sell signal and we took advantage of it. And you know that stock Ford has now dropped 17%. That's the return my gang has now, 17%. Don't follow any of the jibber jabber from CNBC or the Fed. Follow me. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. You're not a regular listener to Phil's Gang? What, are you nuts? Listen to Phil Grande and check out philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Remember, don't forget to pick up Walter's book, Walter's Way. Wonderful book, award-winning book, all kinds of awards. We're going to have a signing. It'll be in April. We'll let you know where and when, so you can meet this wonderful man, an iconic entrepreneur. The book's fabulous, all kinds of awards, and what a fabulous man he is. You're going to want to meet Walter, so we'll let you know when that's going on. So let's just go back to what's going on today. Janet comes out and says how everything's okay in one side of her mouth. She tries to have it both ways. She tells us everything's okay, but she didn't raise rates in March. Well, if you didn't raise the rates in March, then things can't be okay then, can they? Why don't you just come out and say it? No, she doesn't. Just like Obama is bragging that he funds with $1.5 trillion Medicare and Medicaid, which provides 32 million jobs. Unfortunately, that's $35,000 a year job before you take out taxes. Now, if you killed on the healthcare jobs the taxes, which is terrible, tax on labor is terrible. I mean, I think that's the smartest. If you want to really build the economy quickly, just get rid of the labor tax. Just get rid of it. The 15% is ridiculous. 7.5% for you, 7.5% for me. That's crazy. It kills jobs. And then we have the largest amount of people working part-time ever. In fact, 44% of all hirees fell into the very lowest wage category. But you don't hear them say that. Look, when she talks about jobs, she doesn't say anything about that.
The committee continues to expect moderate economic growth over the medium term, accompanied by further labor market improvement. The labor market has added an average of almost 230,000 jobs a month.
Yeah, but wait a minute. 78 to 80% of those jobs are in the lowest wage category. They're part-time. We have the largest amount of people with multiple jobs. We had never had so many multiple jobs in our history. This is crazy. Obama, she fails to say that in his first year in office, he had Axelrod order the BLS to simply eliminate 4.6 million jobs that were lost in 2009. His first year. He didn't want those jobs. He didn't want that bad number. Because Obama's critics kept pointing out during his re-election campaign that Obama, his run rate for jobs created at the end of his first term, were trailing so far behind Bill Clinton at 22 million, Reagan at 16 million. So he tells Axelrod, go down to BLS, tell him you're going to fire everybody unless they skip the first year he was in office. Don't count the 4.6 million jobs lost. Do you believe this? Do you believe this? So he doesn't start counting until 2010. Unlike Reagan and Clinton and all the other presidents who start counting the first day they're in office. So when Obama spoke to the Congressional Black Caucus in 2012, Obama could say he created 10 million jobs over 54 months instead of the 5.4 million, which is the real number. These people just lied to us. Our economy is terrible, but this is great. Why? For investing. And look, we already discussed yesterday. If you have Social Security, if you're depending on Social Security or you're depending on a 401k, you are not going to have a great retirement. You just can't. Because the problem is, think about this. If you're making $55,000 a year, what you're going to get from Social Security and what you're going to get from 401k, that's the real problem. When we had pensions, your money was working for you. They were investing properly. Your pension managers were terrific. You got tremendous tremendous returns. But the 401k that replaced that pension was terrible. So let's think about this. Your 401k and your Social Security together replace only about 52% of what you're making at $55,000 a year. So let's extrapolate it. You got to now, if that's all you have, is a 401k and Social Security, and you're making 55 grand. You know how you live right now? What would happen if I told you tomorrow you got to live like you're making 15,000? I'd be in poverty. No, you'd be below poverty. You'd be the worst poverty. Well, that's what it equates to. Because the 401k is so bad, you don't get return. See, they tell you they get 7% on the models. That's what they show you. But no, you get 3 to 4%. But you don't get 3 to 4%. You get 1.2%. Why? Because even on your 3 or 4%, you got to deduct taxes, you got to deduct inflation. So at the end of the day, if you don't invest properly, and that's why I beg you to join the gang, okay, to use the charts. I'm reaching out. I'm trying to help you. All I'm asking you to do is turn around and help St. Jude. This is not hard. We're a teaching format. We're a gang. We work. We work to make sure everybody understands what they're doing. And you don't do anything unless you understand why you're doing it. The services we provide are incredible. And for people to take their money and hand it to a 401k is ridiculous. So I want you to think about that tonight. If you have your 401k and you say, that's all I'm going to have. Because remember, people destroyed, thanks to Bush and thanks to Barney Frank and thanks to Clinton, they destroyed the equity in your home. See, that's where people had most of their money, was the equity in their home. That equity is gone, so they're depending strictly on Social Security and the returns on 401k. So if you're making 55 grand right now and you're about 10 years away from retiring, and the average person right now has about $25,000 in his retirement account, that means you're going to have to adjust your living to $15,000 a year, $18,000 best. Now, you got to change. Now, obviously, the younger you are, you can change it. Because think about it. If you're 35 years of age and you want to start right now, 25 years of age, and you want to start right now, and you got $5,000 in an account, and let's say you get a 6% return, a real 6% return after taxes, after everything. So you start out with $5 grand, you get a 6% return, you're 25 years old, you got to put about $6,000 away out of your $55,000. You got to do it. You got to give up the spinners on your car. You got to give up, getting the dog and tying to the back bumper. I mean, you got to give up all that stuff. Maybe you got to give up a Ski-Doo. But let me tell you, when you're going to hit 70 or 65 so quick, you're 25, you think, Let me tell you, at 25, you got to put $6,000 away. You can make a 6% return. You will make $1 million by the time you retire. Now, if you wait until you're 35, you got to double it. That's $12,000. So if you're 35, you got to put $12,000 out of that money. Remember, the $55,000 is not net. You got to pay taxes out of that. So as time keeps going, it goes against you. But you have to put up you got to put up $12,000 out of your $55,000, which is about $41,000 net. So you got to take about $12,000 out of your $41,000 and put it away every year. So you'll have $1 million, so you can live the same lifestyle you have at $55,000. $1 million is not a lot of money if you're going to retire at 66 and live to 80. So if you're making 55, 60 grand right now, okay, and just think of all your kids are gone and you don't have all that expense, you can make it, but you got to do something now. But if you are older than that, you're 55, you got to take half of your money. You got to take half. You got to put away almost $24,000 a year out of $55,000. You got to put it away. So you have $1 million by the time you retire. And you retire at, say, 66 to live to 80. So let's help you with that. Let's not make that so painful. Join the gang, because see, here's where you can make it up quicker, especially if you're 45 years old. You can make it up quicker because you got to learn when the market goes up, you make money, but you got to learn how to make money when the market goes down. You double, and you can do it, and it's not a lot of risk. Especially if you're in the spiders, the S&P 500 spiders in a basket. You got to learn. You just can't sit there in a 401k and you pay these ridiculous expenses. You're going to have to live on $15,000 a year. I'm sorry. So why don't you join the gang? Let me reach out and help you, and you help St. Jude. And again, Lois, we're going to make you ahead of the Federal Reserve. How's that? Need somebody honest like you. We'll see you on the charts, gang. Join the gang, 877-600-GANG.
With your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me.